Students, in this module, we will be discussing the NCRT textbook questions. The very first question is Sophie and Janzi were classmates and friends. What were the differences between them that show up in the story? Sophie and Janzi are poles apart in their tastes and temperament, right? Sophie has fantastic dreams and floats in fairyland. She's an incurable escapist who would not come out of her dreams. While Jansi is down to earth, a realistic, Sophie wants to do something sophisticated. Jansi knows that these things require a lot of money, which their families do not possess. Jansi also knows that they were earmarked for the biscuit factory. She even advises Sophie to be sensible and practical. Sophie considers Jansi nosy and does not want to confide in her. Next question is, how would you describe the character and temperament of Sophie's father? Sophie's father has a plumpy face looking grimy and sweaty. He does not seem to be soft or sophisticated man. Sophie fears his aggressive manliness. He is realist, does not believe in his daughter's wild stories. He loves watching football. He hopes young Cassie will be as good as Tom Finney. Tom Finney is basically very famous football player of past. He keeps on comparing Tom Finney and Cassie. He wishes that the young footballer keeps away from all distractions. He shouts instructions to Cassie at the playground. When the Irish genius beats the hesitant goalkeeper, Sophie's father screams with joy and pride. He goes to pub to celebrate the victory. That gives you an idea about the temperament which Sophie's father possessed. Question number 3. Why did Sophie like her brother Jeff more than any other person from her perspective? What does he symbolize? See, students, Jeff is the only person who listens to Sophie's fantasies, long cherished dreams. Her father is too bossy and aggressive. He hates Sophie's fantasy stories. Even little brother Derek makes fun of her growing rich. Her classmate Jancy is nosy and cannot be trusted with secret. Only Jeff can be trusted to keep all the secrets of Sophie to himself. From her perspective, Jeff symbolizes an elder brother who has grown up, visited places unknown to her. She wished that someday her brother might take her to these places. He is sympathetic and cautions her by telling her that Cassie might have strings of girls. He warns her that he would never show up again. He speaks softly so as not to break the heart of young dreamer. And you know that he is a mechanic apprentice, and he is totally engulfed in his work, and he's kind of a shy person. And next question is, what socio-economic background did Sophie belong to? What are the indicators of her family financial status? See, students, Sophie belongs to lower middle class family. She is an escapist, has wild dreams. She dreams of things she cannot have in real life. Janzi tells her that her boutique needs a lot of money if she wants to open her own boutique. Sophie knows that family does not have money. She says, if ever I came into money, I'll buy a boutique. Even little Derek understands her unrealistic nature. Geoff occupation reflects his socio-economic background. He is an apprentice mechanic. He travels to work each day to the far side of the city. His jacket is shapeless. His father lacks sophistication. He is very heavy breathing man. He sits in his vest at the table. He grunts and toasts one of little Derek's shoes from his chair on the sofa. There is a stove in the same room where dirty washing is piled in corner, and Sophie's father goes to pub on his bicycle. All these indicators confirm their lower middle class background. Well, there is talking about the text, discuss in peers, which is not possible right now in this time of pandemic. So what we can do, we can just imagine we are discussing to each other, right? Sophie's dreams and disappointments are all in her mind. Sophie is a young girl, a school going girl belonging to lower middle class. She wants to rise from the situation in which she finds herself. She is an incurable dreamer, an escapist. She dreams of opening boutique. Her classmate Janzi, who had her feet firmly planted on ground, tells Sophie that opening boutique will require lots of money and experience, and she has neither of them. Sophie, who floats in a dreamy world of her own, dreams of becoming an actress or a fashion designer. She has dreams of a hero also. She develops fascination for Dan Casey, the wonder boy of football. She sees him in action only once when he scores second goal for United. She imagines him coming to her, tells her brother about the meeting. She goes on waiting for him on the next date, but he does not turn up. She becomes sad and carries the burden of sadness all the times. Thus, her dreams and disappointments are creations of her mind only. Now, the next one is, it is natural for teenagers to have unrealistic dreams. What would you say are the benefits and disadvantages of such fantasizing? Teenagers have boundless enthusiasm and ambitions. They have sweet dreams and go on fantasizing. It is natural for them to do so. Every youth is a dreamer. Every great scientist or writer has a dream. Without something to aspire for, one cannot strive to achieve that goal. Dreams lead to golden gate of success. Some teenagers float in the dream of fantasy. They have unreal dreams. It is just like a child asking for a moon. Their feet are in mud. They dream of stars in the sky. Such fantasizing really results basically in disappointment and disillusionment. A dreamer who fails to realize his dream is labeled a failure. Those who realize their dreams become heroes and achievers in their spheres. I think it's better to have dreams even if we fail to realize them. Who would have dreams if the teenagers don't? Will these grey headed, grey bearded persons have dreams? Let the teenagers indulge in their natural activity, dream of golden future. They will strive to translate them in reality. These are the questions from your textbook, students. I'll be giving you some extra questions for homework.